Hey everyone, how's it going? It's very early Thursday morning on No, it's not July. It's actually June. It's June 23rd, 2022, but we're going to talk about yesterday being Wednesday, the 22nd. We're going to talk about the bet that I published today as it's still going on. There are two games still going on. And also we're going to talk about what the algorithm did today, how I structured a wager, and kind of talk about how to profit from this and the ways to read the algorithm and make bets with healthy odds, which is kind of what we did today. So let me talk about, first of all, what's going on and how I enjoy making what I call micro bets, which are small bets on a lot of different combinations as predicted by the algorithms, or in case of hockey, as predicted by my assessment of hockey teams. But otherwise, it's about, the baseball games. And so what I did today is I bet a live bet, because by the time I was done posting the video today, this game had already started. The Mets were down 4-0. Bet them plus 2.5 because I wanted to get a good line on them coming back because they were supposed to come back in that game. They were actually favored by our algorithm here, and it was supposed to be a very close game. So I thought they will make this a closer game. It won't be a 4-run deficit, and they managed to come back and even threatened to make that an even closer game and potentially win. So that was one pick I had on. Then I had the Dodgers minus 2.5 because they were supposed to crush Cincinnati. Then I had the Yankees over 4 runs. They came back to win late in that game as well, but I got a better line than minus 156, which is what was being offered for them to win. If you look at what their win line was, something like, it was actually, it was down to minus 156 at that point when I was looking at it, but it was worse. I said, all right, well, the Yankees are probably going to get to 4 runs or more. I think that's generous because it says they'll get to 5, and they actually did get to 5 and they won that game. So all these three were winners. And Boston came back from down 2-0 to come and win this game 6-2. Algorithm said what, right? Algorithm said that they were way up here. And, they ended up doing very close to what the prediction was. Prediction was 5 to 2-ish to 3. It's 6 to 10. I mean, look at the colors of those scores. They're basically the same. And that means that the algorithm's doing a good job. So they actually cover at home. So that also wins. So it was looking awesome for the first 4. Then this game just couldn't get broken from a 2-2 tie and goes to overtime. So this was a loss, but it's a hockey pick. So it's kind of like, it's not the MLB algorithm, it's me. Other thing you could have done was the Avs to win, which was minus 110. That would have won. That would have still been okay, but that's not what I did. I did over and it lost. So we have our first loss. So instead of $1,300 now, only we could win 363. Well, Oakland is not winning. They're losing. They're down 9-0. They're going to lose. It's really only the Royals game that's still close right now. That's at 1-0, I believe, in the 7th inning. Now, one thing that's really interesting about this Oakland pick was, man, I say this oftentimes. I'm like, go to the Google sheet, go to the Google sheet, go to the Google sheet. Because in the Google sheet, I don't post the predictions until the lineups are confirmed. And when I sent out the email with the Excel file today, before these late game lineups were confirmed, it had Oakland at a higher percentage than Seattle. And that's why I bet Oakland, because I was also a big Paul Blackburn fan. Well, he apparently got rocked in this game early. I didn't see if he really was pitching, but I think he was. And they got spanked. And on top of that, here's what really is annoying is when I updated the Excel file for all the current lineups for the day, once they were all confirmed, it changed. Oakland's lineup factor dropped. They went down to 2.7. I think they were higher earlier in the day on the other thing, or whatever it was, is the prediction, and then flipped slightly. And all of a sudden, Seattle's now supposed to win this game. So it looks like Seattle's favored by the algorithm, and I bet Oakland. So what the lesson to be learned here, long story short there, is that when a team is way down here, I say under 10% margin, but when you're under 5% margin, these games are going to flip around when lineups are updated and for other little reasons, and they're extremely close games, and you need to know that. And so when you're looking at it early in the day, it might not be what's there at the end of the day because of the way the updates are. So that's frustrating that I bet on team against the algorithm and they definitely lost. And here I bet Kansas City intentionally against the algorithm, which should have bet them plus 1.5 because of where the line was and the fact that they're on the road. but for some reason I decided to bet them to win and get greedy. Should definitely have them plus 1.5. That is a much stronger pick, and I'm probably going to eat crow by not doing that in the pick here. So if you lose this, you end up down $4 on the day. Okay. But it's a real exciting day, and I enjoyed this day of wagering. I enjoyed this day of following. One, because I won some games early on and it got pretty exciting. Sitting watching the hockey game with my son, we watched the whole thing, and it was exciting all the way up until the end. I was like, man, if they could just get a goal in the last 5 minutes, we might get a couple goals, and this might be a push, which would actually be extremely helpful. You can see that pays off much better if you get a push, but it just didn't happen. Whatever. It made it exciting though, and it had hundreds and hundreds of dollars of swing on a $25 bet, where we're still getting paid even if we lose this game. We still get some money back and only lose $4. So I consider that a victory, even though it might not even make money today, but a victory in how you craft a wager that's an enjoyable wager to follow throughout the day. Now, those are my crazy odds picks. Well, the algorithm apparently, especially after the end of the day run, had such a good day that I wonder if people did do well with it today, because some interesting things happened at the end of the day. One is Cleveland, somehow an amazing game that just kept going back and forth late, wins this game at an underdog line. San Francisco covers plus 1.5 on the road here, but doesn't win. The Mets are the loss, even though I managed to win with them by betting them plus 2.5 runs somehow in the middle of the game. Philadelphia is the big loser up here. That's the only one that loses above 10% margin today. This game gets called in a rain out. Baltimore was like 7-0. But look at all the covering here. I mean, Yankees don't cover minus 1.5 on the road, but they do win. And you just have trouble with Houston playing better and with Atlanta championship team, and everything else after the lineups looks pretty darn good. We'll see what happens with LA and Kansas City, but it is a close game. And if you had LA minus 1.5, you're sweating this right now on whether or not they're actually going to do that at home. So I'm happy with what the distribution is here. Okay. I was going to go through and reorient it, but I'm like, wow, actually this distribution did fantastic once all the confirmed lineups were in. This is pretty excellent. I mean, you miss 2 underdogs, but don't count out whenever an underdog on the road covers plus 1.5, you almost have to not consider it that much of a loss, because that's a way you can play that game. And oftentimes way down here at a 5% margin, if they do cover plus 1.5, that was the play to make. The Mets don't, so the Mets is a loser there. But then you get 2 winners with Cleveland and St. Louis. So if you bet all 4 underdogs, we essentially beat the odds makers today. Did we do, where did we put this game? Did we put this game appropriately? The odds makers had a few more games ahead of this game. So in that sense, I'd say the algorithm lost on predicting the Philadelphia game, both in terms of outcome and in terms of placement of where the odds makers had it. But other than that, this stuff is great. And if the Angels manage to blow this to Kansas City, or even if it stays a 1-run game, I feel like this prediction is excellent down here. So I'm happy with the distribution the way it is today, and we'll leave it for tomorrow. So I guess we root for the Royals. Checking the phone real quick. It is 2-0 now, Angels. So we can say maybe that plus 1.5 pick maybe not going to work out so well. Speak too soon, but that game isn't over. The other one should be. So good luck, everyone. We'll be back Thursday. What time are the games tomorrow? They start at 12:10. Are you kidding? It's a travel day. I actually might not be available before 12:10 tomorrow. I would have to do this in my car after I have a scheduled event tomorrow. So I will see if I can get this done beforehand. But I may be actually literally tied up. Not maybe literally. No, not literally. But no, I'm actually in a place where I will not be able to have a computer either. So, okay. All right, guys. Good luck everyone tomorrow. May all your picks be winning. I'll get a video out at some point, but it might not be before the noon games. I will try to send out a prediction tonight for everyone who subscribes, and then we'll see what I can do before the games start tomorrow. All right. Good luck. Like I said, good luck. Accessibility, what? We're not accessibility anything. All right. May all your picks be winning. And have they won? I hope they won today.